Hello, these are the items that come with the BK2 or Becker BK2 made by K-Bar. These are the handles, and of course the blade is attached to them when it comes with it, and then this is the sheath that comes with it. The sheath is Kydex. It's okay as far as Kydex sheaths go. You know, it fits snug and all that. But I'm not a real big fan of Kydex. It's kind of loud and clanky in the woods, but waterproof, so that is nice. But I'm just not a real big fan, and I was getting the BK2 for a gift for a friend, for my brother actually, and I wanted to personalize it a little bit instead of just giving him the knife. So I decided to go ahead and build another sheath and to go ahead and build new handles. So, do the sheath first. So here's the sheath. It's got a lot of rivets in it, obviously, as opposed to stitching like I did on the last one. The idea is it's mounted horizontally, so you run your belt through here, or you unclasp it and then run this through your belt. Or you can mount it on a backpack or whatever if you want to, on the straps and such. So I kind of like that as opposed to hanging it from my hip. I've never felt that to be particularly comfortable. I prefer them mounted this way. These right here are for a fire steel and a magnesium stick. I don't have those in yet. I ordered them, but they haven't arrived. Well, you get the general idea. You just stick the magnesium stick in there. I'll show you something as an example. This is just a punch for the leather work, but the idea is you can mount the sticks there, the fire stick or the steel, and it stays put pretty good, and you have all you need for making a fire with the knife and those two items. So I'm looking forward to getting those in the mail so I can go ahead and put them on there. So that's pretty much it. This is just a stud clasp like that because it's kind of quiet, as opposed to using these kinds of snaps to get the knife in and out. So the knife is here, standard BK2 blade. I reused the bolts and the nuts from the original, but I replaced the handles. So this wood is called Bacote or Bacote. I'm not really sure the proper pronunciation. But that's it. It's a little big, but the guy I'm making this for has big hands like I do, so that's kind of convenient because then I can just make the knife where it's comfortable in my hand, and it should be pretty comfortable in his hands too because we have the same size hands. And he is right-handed. I'm left-handed actually, but he's right-handed, and so I put finger slots on it for a right-handed person, so that holds pretty comfortably in his hand. It's a little big. I probably should have sanded it down a little bit more, but that turned out okay. The finish is, as far as the how it follows the blade, it's pretty good. Not quite as good as I had hoped for. I'd hoped it to where you couldn't feel the difference between the blade and the metal as you ran your finger across, but you can in some places. But it's no worse than the original blades, or the original blade scales that came with it. So not terribly unhappy with that. Cutting these hexagonal slots for the nuts was probably the most challenging part of this. Just trying to make that look decent and not screw it up, because it's the last thing you do. And there's a lot of sanding and grinding that goes into making these scales, so I was happy that I didn't screw it up at the very last. The actual last step is to put the finish on. I used, as opposed to like putting polyurethane or something like that on there, I chose to put a hard wax. It's typically used for lathe work, but I use this for the knife. You basically just put it on a buffing wheel. It's a hard wax, so you push it onto the buffing wheel like you would a polishing compound, and then you run these wooden scales across that. Bacote is a very hard wood, very, very heavy wood, amazingly heavy when you have a whole board of it, and I like the way it looks. It just kind of has a nice contrast with the black and the white yellow type lines. It's a pretty exotic wood, and so you put it in here like so, and there you go. There's your knife. So I'm sure hope he likes it. Hope he uses it and not just stick it in a drawer somewhere. This knife is definitely made to be used. It's the blade on it is really thick. In case you haven't seen some of the other reviews online, which are much more thorough than this one, but the reviews of the blade itself and the knife, it's a nice knife, not too expensive, but very, very tough, 1/4 inch steel blade. I think it's 1095 carbon steel. I'll probably be buying myself one of these as well once I give this to my brother. So looking forward to that. That's a little tight because I designed it for the original scales, and these are a little bigger, but I'll probably stretch that out a little bit to make it not quite so snug. But actually the thing fits very nicely. You don't really need I could take that off if I really wanted to, because it's not going to come out, at least not anytime soon. It'll take some wear before that gets even sort of loose. But anyway, hope you liked it. Give me some feedback if you like. I'll try to answer any questions that you have. Second sheath I've ever made. I've made lots of knife handles, so